Years later, I'm the prince, bro. I can never be gay, bro. I got 2 sons, bro. We can never be gay. I ain't gay. The weed, by how fat these blunts is, you know I ain't gay.
Exclusive leaked audio of the 911 call reporting Rich Homie Quan's death has surfaced, and fans believe the real cause might be much darker than expected. What really happened?
I'm gonna stay on the line with you, okay?
Okay.
Amber 911 operator 7214. What is the location of your emergency? All right, you need police, fire, or ambulance?
I need an ambulance.
Tell me exactly what happened.
My boyfriend, he's been asleep on the couch since this morning. Well, he never came to bed last night. Sleep on the couch. I left him on the couch before I took my son to school this morning, put a blanket over him. And now I just checked on him again because he never got up. I don't feel a heartbeat. I don't see him breathing.
And you said, hold on, you said on the couch, and what happened?
I said I put a cover over him because it gets a little cool. He's in the living room. And now I just checked on him because I see he never got up. And I don't see him breathing. I don't feel a heartbeat or anything. And I turned him over. I see he kind of foamed at the mouth.
I'm sorry, are you saying he's not breathing? Is that correct? I'm not hearing you.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
Is there a what?
If there's a defibrillator available, send someone to get it now and tell me when you have it.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next.
Okay. On September 5, 2024, Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend called 911, reporting that she had found him unresponsive on the couch. Quan wasn't breathing, and she pleaded for paramedics to save him. Unfortunately, it was later revealed that he had passed away due to an alleged codeine and fentanyl overdose. During the 911 call, his girlfriend can be heard desperately trying to revive him, telling the operator that he had foam around his mouth.
I need to know about how old he is.
He's 34.
Okay, are you right by him now?
Yes.
Okay, please put your phone on speaker so your hands are free to help.
Can I add his dad to the call? He's trying to call me back because I called him first before I called you.
Okay, so we need to help your boyfriend now. Okay, listen carefully. Lay him flat on his back on the floor and remove anything under his head.
He is not waking up. Quick.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, you gotta get him to the floor. Lay him flat on his back on the floor and remove anything under his head.
Flat on his back on the floor?
Yes, ma'am.
Help me.
What's Drake?
He's not here.
Yeah,
were you able to get him to the floor?
Yes, his heart not beating or anything.
An investigation into Rich Homie Quan's death later revealed that he was battling drug addiction and had been given fentanyl-laced pills by someone in Hollywood.
A month after his passing, a cause of death has now been released for Atlanta rapper Rich Homie Quan.
Medical examiners say he died from an accidental overdose. They found 4 substances, including fentanyl and codeine, in his system. After his death, Quan's brother told police he thought he was asleep on the floor by the kitchen. Rich Homie Quan was one of the biggest names in hip-hop, especially in the city of Atlanta. He was 33 years old.
Rich Homie Quan had been speaking out about his struggles with addiction for years, and during an interview on No Jumper, Quan mentioned how he had got so used to drugs at one time that he was taking them every day straight for 2 years. At one point, Quan even passed out during a show in Atlanta. He was rushed from the set in Piedmont Park to an area hospital after reportedly having 2 seizures, falling and cracking his head on set. Quan denied having passed out from drug usage, but at the same time he was open about it on.
But I'm partying so hard and I'm on the Molly so gone. I'm thinking it's hard.
That was your biggest issue at that time?
Yeah, Molly. I was on that Molly like every day, bro.
You weren't a lean guy as much?
Yeah.
Lean and Molly.
But I still silk, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, like Molly had me gone, bro. I was like on Molly, like them rich gang days. Like I was on Molly probably like 2 years straight, like every day. Like I'm taking Molly before I go brush my teeth.
Jeez.
You feel me?
And so that's no way to live.
No way to live, bro. But then that's when I started feeling like my music was like falling out. I was caught up, like I was lost in the South.
Right.
That's what I'm doing to Molly right now. I'm up, like Flex, my biggest song, you know what I'm saying? By myself, double platinum, like I'm up.
According to Hurricane Chris, fentanyl-laced drugs are common on the streets, and it's likely that Rich Homie Quan unknowingly got his hands on some of those fake pills.
Yeah. Good attitude, never talked bad about anybody, was happy to be in the position that he's in, but they're saying it's over an overdose.
That's some fake-ass pills, bro. 9 times out of 10, it's probably them fake-ass pills. Like, I don't knock nobody who do what they do, but it's too dangerous to get anything off the streets. I don't know if that's the case, but it need to be said anyway. Like, this shit is fucked up, bro.
If you're doing street drugs in 2024, you must not like living all that much.
Facts. Like, you gambling with your life when you swallow that pill that you got from your homeboy. Even if he said he got it from the doctor, like, don't believe that shit. If you didn't go to a doctor and get that shit as your medication, don't take it. Even if somebody's selling it to you, got the pill bottle. There could be an old pill bottle they had, and they putting new fake pills in it. Like, it's a dangerous game if you out here taking drugs. You gotta really, like, pay attention.
Quan was involved with some shady individuals and, while under the influence of drugs, had even committed multiple burglaries. He admitted that he and his friends would get high and break into homes during the day, stealing small items. They were careful to only target empty houses, knowing that breaking in while someone was inside would result in harsher prison sentences.
Took that little trick and made it my trick, and that trick was burglary.
So actually going in people's cribs?
Going, kicking in door. But not no home invasion. We wasn't going in there when nobody was there. I wasn't going to nobody's house when nobody was there. It was only like, you know what I'm saying, like during the day. I wouldn't even do no cat time burglary at night because you get more time for that. So we'll do daytime burglary. Because cat time burglary, you getting way more time for that. So wait till you go to work in the morning, or kick your shit in. We don't want
even at that young age, you was aware of the law. Like, yo, if I do this at night, I'm getting more time.
I'm smart as hell. You gotta think, so I know that. Like, yeah, so like, if I'm gonna get some money, then I ain't never been to jail. So you gotta think, like, my first time doing it, I got locked up. My first time doing it, my first burglary, I get locked up. But it wasn't my fault because this would really put me on burglary. I got a buddy, he was my best friend in high school, one of my best friends, DeAndre. Shout out my boy DeAndre.
Who provided Quan with the laced pills? According to online rumors, it was a dealer connected to Diddy. Allegedly, Diddy had been targeting Quan due to his beef with Young Thug and the disrespectful comments Quan made during an Instagram Live. Diddy has a long history of violence. He reportedly blew up Kid Size car just because CTI was friends with Cassie. He doesn't take disrespect lightly. To make matters even more suspicious, Kim Porter was also found with foam around her mouth, just like Quan. Could there be a deeper connection?
Holmes told Miss Ventura that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car and that he wanted to ensure that Kid Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. Around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. So now we have that allegation, and we have the mention of arson in the indictment. But then we go to the government's bail letter that they filed with the court. They were advocating that Combs be denied bail. He has been twice. And they allege, quote, in the early morning hours of December 22nd, 2011, the defendant and a co-conspirator kidnapped an individual at gunpoint to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of Individual 1. By the way, Individual 1 is not named, but we'll get to that. Multiple witnesses would testify at trial to the events surrounding the kidnapping and break-in, the latter of which is corroborated by police reports and other records. Approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to Individual 1's vehicle, by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping a Molotov cocktail inside the interior. Police and fire department reports extensively document the arson and conclude that the fire was intentionally set. Multiple witnesses would also testify to the defendant bragging about his role in destroying individual one's car. Hence, why we can make the argument that they are referencing Kid Cudi. This echoes Ventura and the indictment.
Diddy created a violent environment in Hollywood, and officers who raided his mansion reported finding large amounts of drugs, weapons, and lube, suggesting he was even worse than Epstein. He has been accused of arson, assault, and forced prostitution to get revenge on those who crossed him. In 1999, Diddy was also allegedly involved in a shooting. With so many serious accusations, how much longer can the truth be ignored?
These ladies at a party, for years, P. Diddy's gotten a hall pass. He's actually created his own kingdom where he makes his own rules, and you got to follow his rules or you get penalized. And guess what, Laura? He's now in a federal penitentiary, and for the first time in his life, he's facing his own fate at the hands of somebody else. And I will tell you, Laura, I've done federal cases, that's not the place you want to be in federal court. 90% of federal criminal indictments brought down are pled out, right? A plea deal is brought. And of the only 10% left, 90% of those defendants that go to trial, they lose. So he is looking at a daunting uphill battle to fight these horrible charges.
Now, Brian, one of the DHS agents involved in this raid on his Miami mansion described what he saw inside the house, saying that, in my opinion, he's as bad as Epstein. These women are young, either barely legal or barely illegal. Brian, this sounds like he was a monster.
Yeah, Laura, I will tell you that this indictment was very detailed, by the way, too. Your viewers should know there were over 300 subpoenas served, over 50 witnesses interviewed. Why is that important? Because the federal prosecutors aren't going to be leveling an indictment like this unless they have ammunition and they have cause to bring it.
In the court of public opinion, the media, it's about timing. You build people up, you tear them down. These are not new allegations against him. They're just making a new approach at attacking him. That's fine. That's one discussion about our culture and canceling. But legally, a bulletproof indictment, I can't believe that prosecutors are looking at bad behavior from his college days. What do you think this is about?
Well, all I can say is if the Southern District of New York has a grand jury investigation, they're going to cross every T and dot every I, and this is not good news for Diddy. And as I understand it, they're calling in male and female people involved in sex trafficking, and this could be a major indictment probably in about 4 to 5 months. They're not going to do it right away.
Was Diddy using drugs to control other celebrities in the music industry? According to his former assistant, Philip Pines, the answer is yes. Diddy would invite people he wanted leverage over to his parties, get them drunk and hooked on drugs, and then secretly record them to use for blackmail later. He even forced his own friends to try drugs, and now similar accusations are being made against his sons.
This morning, new details allegedly inside Diddy's world before his shocking arrest. The entertainment mogul now behind bars for federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
Phil Pines was Diddy's senior executive assistant from 2019 to 2021. He says his then boss asked him to purchase supplies for parties dubbed Wild King Nights.
We usually had a laundry list of items that included lights, alcohol, marijuana, ketamine. Those requests started to become more frequent.
Pines claims many of these parties involved younger women.
A lot of times you would have him with a younger female, and there's a power dynamic there. A more impressionable girl is easier to reel in. Consent is between the people that are engaging, and I wasn't there in these situations to understand the consent.
One of the things is, I mean, the thing that stuck out to me, you mentioned it before, these allegations are so consistent with what the allegations are that are laid out by prosecutors when they describe the freak-offs in their indictment, right? These sex-fueled parties, these drug-fueled parties, the baby oil, the Astroglide, and it makes me wonder, A, do you think Mr. Pines is a cooperating witness for the government? B, if so, do you think he was one of the people that they originally spoke to when they were coming up with this, when they were drafting the indictment and coming up with the charges? Or do you think he's come out after? Because again, I think the timing of the lawsuit's important too, at the end of the year, right now. Talk to me about what you think his role might be.
If I had to guess, I would figure that the feds already talked to him, just because I know from my experience dealing with them how all-encompassing their investigations are. And if he really was his executive assistant from the time frame that they allege in the lawsuit, I can't see a scenario where they wouldn't. I mean, they investigate regular cases to the point that that I'm shocked when I see it as a criminal defense attorney with regular people. When you're talking about a high-profile celebrity case like this, I can't fathom that no one spoke to this individual prior to this. So I would think that, I would think that they did speak to him, and I can't imagine that he's not a witness, because the way that they work is they want everybody that can corroborate their theory of the case to be on their witness list, or to be somebody that they could call. And I can't think that if he actually was his assistant for this time frame, he would be an excellent witness.
Diddy is still in contact with his associates outside prison and is allegedly using them to threaten and harass anyone who speaks out against him. Many victims have reportedly received phone calls from people close to Diddy, pressuring them to stay quiet. Call logs from the Metropolitan Detention Center confirm this, which is one of the reasons why his bail continues to be denied.
Details this morning in the sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors now claiming that from behind bars, Combs has been trying to reach out to victims and possible witnesses. And ABC's Phil Lipoff is here now with this story. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Gio. Diddy's lawyers trying for a third time to get him out on bail, but this time, the prosecution telling the judge about attempts they say the rap mogul made from behind bars to influence everyone from potential jury to alleged victims. This morning, prosecutors leveling new accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, saying he poses a serious risk of danger even from behind bars as he awaits trial. In a court filing late Friday, prosecutors detailing the steps they say Combs is taking while locked up to reach out to prospective witnesses and influence public opinion to affect potential jurors.
The accusations within the prosecution's motion to deny bail are very serious and will be considered very heavily by the judge, because the judge is going to want to ensure that he is not influencing witnesses and or contacting anyone to influence a trial in any way.
Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution, and sex trafficking. He denies any wrongdoing. The government now asking a judge not to grant Combs' third request for bail, in which the music mogul offers a $50 million bail package citing new evidence and changed circumstances.